History Month is brought to you by Calvin Smith Law, the injury lawyers.
All this month, we are celebrating Black history. African Americans have played a pivotal role in helping shape Metro Atlanta. When you think of all the historical locations across the area, you probably don't think of SouthView Cemetery. But this one, trust me, was eye-opening.
Martin Luther King was buried here in 1968, and he was moved to the King Center in 1970.
Better than a history book, SouthView Cemetery contains a who's who of Black history and culture in Atlanta. Dr. King's family rests in peace here. More recently, civil rights icon Congressman John Lewis was buried in Southview, and legendary baseball great Hank Aaron is buried here as well.
They would leave bats and balls and just come to honor him and pay respects.
Winifred Watts Hemphill continues the family business of running the cemetery, first started in 1886 by 6 Black Atlanta businessmen.
One of them was my great-grandfather, Albert Watts. He was born in Athens as a slave, and after emancipation matriculated to Atlanta and lived in Atlanta and ran a grocery store.
The men wanted a dignified place where blacks could be buried. More than a century later, 80,000 rest here. This marble marker is one of the most visited, the headstone for George Union Wilder.
And it has his dates in here. Very difficult to see because it was hand-etched. It also says that he was murdered during the race riots of 1906.
Also in Southview's historic district, former slave and Atlanta entrepreneur Alonzo Herndon and his family.
Alonzo Herndon was the first black millionaire in Atlanta. He owned the Crystal Palace barbershop as well as several others, and the Crystal Palace catered to white men, shaves, baths, haircuts.
You may not recognize the guest name as much as one of the men behind the music of Gladys Knight and the Pips.
William Guest is here and his whole family, and he was a Pip, and his sister was actually one of the original Pips.
And few know that filmmaker Spike Lee has a direct connection to Southview.
He comes and visits frequently when he's in Atlanta. Spike Lee's grandmother is really one of the main reasons that he came and went to Morehouse.
And that Spike Lee connection was one that actually surprised me, and there are so many others as well. Southview will have a special tour and performance. This one is coming up on March 26th. Actors will portray notable Atlantans. It's one you don't want to miss. We did add information for that on our website at CBS46.com. But you can actually take a tour of Southview any day of the week. Tracy Hutchins, CBS 46 News.